Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. So we are just going to step into a new chapter in the organizational behavior. So the chapter we are going to discuss is the 16th chapter, organizational culture. The first part of this chapter would be discussed here, and the later would be discussed with by some others. So talking about organizational culture, we can say that this chapter what about this chapter is being discussed. This chapter mainly tries to explain what organizational culture is and why that organizational culture is so important. That is what the main core theme of this chapter. And also the organizational culture means the values, beliefs, behaviors shaped by people in an organization. This is what the chapter is mainly about, and it also shows the organizational culture also shows that how people think and work together in an organization, how are people interconnected, they would be interconnected, how they would be react with each other, how their interaction, how their interconnection would happen. So all the topic, all this type of discussion is being discussed in this organizational behavior. So it mainly play a major role in shaping performance and long-term success of a people, of a person, an organization. So when we talk about the main objectives, key objectives of learning this organizational culture, we can count some of the objectives. Some of the objectives that we count out first, to understand what organizational culture means. It simply gives us an understanding. It simply give us what organizational culture means. By studying it, we can understand what the organizational culture means. And the second one is to know the main characteristics of organizational culture. By studying organizational culture, we can understand what are the key things, what are the main themes, main characteristics that is being discussed in this organizational culture. And the another one, the third one, is to explain how organizational culture affects employees and the organization, how it is a person, he is the main theme, main vital point in an organization. So he is the center point of that. So it revolves, the organization revolve around the employees and the organization. So how this culture affects them is the core study, and it will help the study of employees and the organizations. And finally, it will also help to understand the different type of organization cultures. These four are some of the objectives that we can count by studying, by putting our study in the organizational culture. So when we talk about the importance of, we just now talked about the objectives, learning objectives of the organizational culture. So we are just stepping into another topic, the importance of organizational culture in what are the needs, what are the requirements, what are the things that talks the importance of organizational culture. So when we talk about the importance of organizational culture, in simple version we can say that organizational culture influence how decisions are made in an organization. So there's a famous saying, culture is strategy for breakfast, which means culture is more powerful than plans. A strong culture helps employees to work together and help organizations to succeed. So a strong culture helps organization achieve consistency, commitment, and success. So these can be understood, the importance of organizational culture, a consistency, commitment, and success. By being an interconnected, as we said earlier, being in an interconnected relationship, interconnected organizationship, there roots a consistency and commitment and success between the employees. So we are just bringing a case example, Yellow Edge. So when we talk about what is the Yellow Edge, it is an organization that treats culture as a central part of its business strategy. When in a business strategy, this in this organization, Yellow Edge, and one of the organization that treats culture as a central part. It is in this organization, the central part of the business strategy is culture. So the organization culture, how they adapt, how they perform, how their interconnectedness is what is being studied and the central part of the business strategy. And this organization was built on shared values such as trust, authenticity, and growth. As we said earlier, what are that are the importance of your organizational culture. So these things are the one thing are the matters built in the organization. That means shared values such as trust, authenticity, and growth are the what the key characteristics that had made the organization. So and these values, as we said, these values trust, authenticity, and growth, these kind of values guide how the organization works with employees and clients. How is a perfect organization happens with employees and clients? There would be happy, authenticity, and such of trust that would happen. That is what an organization requires mainly. And the next slide, we can talk about culture as a living system. In simple version, we can say that organization culture is not fixed. It changes every day through people's behavior and relationships. Both leaders and employees are responsible for maintaining a good culture. I mean, the main owners, the supreme persons who are positioning on the top, and the employees who are under their leaders, who those who though all of them have a shared responsibility of maintaining a positive culture. They are equally responsible for what for behaving what they are requested, what they needed in an organization. So a culture is a living system in an organization. So after all, we are talking what is organizational culture. An organizational culture refers to the shared understanding of how things are done in an organization. This study about how things are done in an organization, many things happen. So how that particular thing is happening in an organization. So I mean, there would be many characteristics and many things behind that. It means shared beliefs, values, assumptions help my members. So many positive and negative things happen in an organization to took place and understand and to took place something. How things are done. Behind that, there would be many things: shared beliefs, values, assumptions, and many other things. So that what understanding of such things is called organization culture. So this culture helps distinguish one organization from another. Each organization would be different. So the main character, the main thing that helps distinguish one organization from another, it is culture. So when we try to give a proper definition of organizational culture, we can say that organization culture is a system of shared meaning among members of an organization. So we can give an easy explanation like this for organizational culture. It influences how people think, behave, and expect things at work. These are the main things that affect in the organizational culture. So now it explains why people behave in certain ways at work. In work, each and every person would be different from one another. His characteristics would be different from one another, and everything. Their shared belief common, they would not share a common belief, they would have different ideologies, different beliefs, different things. So this help is by studying organizational culture, such thing will help in why people behave differently at the works. So now when we try to maintain a level of organization culture, that's a culture, that's a theory, that's a theory found, that's brought by Shane. He brought this ideology. Yeah, he labeled this organizational cultures in different levels. So when we talk about this level of organizational culture by Shane, we can count it as in three types. One is artifacts and espoused values and basic assumptions. So the artifacts, it means the visible things like dress code, language, and office design. In an organizational culture, as we said, or in organizational, there would be totally different. So the artifacts means the visible things, like dress code. In an organization, we can find a dress code in them, and language and office design. That are the things visible in an organization. And another one is espoused values. That means the official goals and values of the organizations. And the another one is basic assumptions, deep beliefs that people follow without thinking. Basic assumptions are very difficult to change. So these basic assumptions means the beliefs that people will follow without even thinking. They won't think about it, but deeply follow that belief. So such things could be difficult to change. So these are the different level of organization culture proposed by Shane. And another type of organizational culture by Handy. He also characterized the organizational culture. In easy version, he explained four types of culture. Organizational culture he categorized into four types, and the four of them are power culture, role culture, task culture, and support culture. Support culture. So the power center. First one is the power culture. It is mainly centered around strong leadership and centralized decision making. Uh, it is mainly focused on strong leader makes decision. The strong leaders makes decision. And the role culture is it focuses on rules, procedures, and clearly defined roles. Here, rules and procedures are important. It is the main and characteristic thing. And then third one is task culture, which emphasizes teamwork, flexibility, and goal achievement that are important in task culture. And the last one is support culture. It focuses on people, trust, and strong interpersonal relationships. That is what organizational culture is about. Meanwhile, compassion, trust, and strong interpersonal relationship. People and relationship would be quite important in this kind of support culture. And next, another slide, we are talking about key characteristics of organizational culture. So there are some key characteristics for organizational culture. That are organizational culture differs in many ways. In many ways, it differs. I mean, in how much it encourages innovation and risk taking, it differs. And some cultures emphasizes attention to detail and precision, while others focus on results. Some would be very detailed, it would look up to the every detail, and it would require precision. But the some other cultures which would be focused relied on results only. And also culture also varies in people orientation, teamwork, competitiveness, and stability. In each of these matters, people orientation uh, differ. Culture of the culture in people orientation, teamwork, competitiveness, and stability would differ in each one of these. And when we talk about culture as a descriptive concept, we can see that organizational culture describes how employees perceive their organization. It does not judge whether employees like or dislike the culture. Organizational culture describe how an employee is being treated, is being conducted, how his behavior is being conducted in an organization with his superior, and the both to each after. And also it does not judge whether employees like or dislike the culture. In this culture, it won't matter. It won't take a look on whether the employee like that culture or not. It is not a thing to discuss. It's not a thing to look after in the organizational culture. The culture is descriptive, whereas job satisfaction is evaluation is in nature. So that's all about the organizational culture. Here I'm winding up my presentation. وآخر دعوتنا الحمد لله رب العالمين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته.